Cowboys. Like Super Bowl. What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Shout out to Tex Round, by the way. Rest in peace. Shout out to the Cowboy Nation. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys 2014-2015 team. We going for 6 Super Bowls this year, man. You know what I'm talking about? It's Cowboy life for nothing. Believe that. We bleed blue and silver around here, man. Yeah, give it up for America's team. Straight like that. Yeah. Big Hood signing out. Yeah. Big Hood in the building. What up? How about the boys? The Dallas Cowboys, that is. What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up? Blue and silver, baby, yeah, that be the colors. 5 Super Bowl trophies, that's the number. America's team, everybody love him. Shout out to Jerry Jones, yeah, cause he be the owner. Hall of Fame players in the ring of honor. The defense suffocate like anaconda. The offense fast paced like NASCAR. This brand throw the X up on the star. Tony Romo making plays, Jason Witten. DeMarco Murray putting on the show too. The crowd go crazy for the touchdown. Cowboys fans for life, Super Bowl. What up? How about the boys? Big Hood building. What up? How about the boys? The Dallas Cowboys, that is. What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up? Blue and silver, baby, yeah, that be the colors. 5 Super Bowl trophies, that's the number. America's team, everybody love him. Shout out to Jerry Jones, yeah, cause he be the owner. Hall of Fame players in the ring of honor. The defense suffocate like anaconda. The offense fast paced like NASCAR. This brand throw the X up on the star. Tony Romo making plays, Jason Witten. DeMarco Murray putting on the show too. The crowd go crazy for the touchdown. Cowboys fans for life, Super Bowl. What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up? About the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up? Yeah, the beat kicking like Dan Bailey. The boys sack your quarterback like Charles Haley. Known for making plays like the playmaker. Micah Irvin, that's my all-time favorite. Monsters was on the public return. Name a franchise with more than legends. Living legends. R.I.P. to Tom Landry up ahead. Repeat. The crowd go crazy for the touchdown. Cowboys fans for life. Super Bowl. What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about Dallas Cowboys. What up? What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Shout out to Tex Round, by the way. Shout out to the Cowboy Nation. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys 2014-2015 team. We going for 6 Super Bowls this year, man. You know what I'm talking about? It's cowboy life for nothing. Believe that. We bleed blue and silver around here, man. Yeah, give it up for America's team. Straight like that. Yeah. Big Hood signing out. Yeah. Big Hood in the building. What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? How about the boys? What up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Doesn't mean to.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy Tyson, the West Coast Cowboy, and man, do we have a great show for you guys today. I got my boy, man, first off, you guys already know if I'm on the phone, if I'm on here talking about Cowboys, you gotta know that I have to have one of our bloggers or one of our good friends on the line. So what's up with you? Who I got on the line with me today?
I don't sneak this. This just for the record. This just for the record. Just facts. Facts. Yo, take a swing. I wonder if I can come take some of yours. Just wondering. When they go get in the Bentley, I want to give a shout out to Miss Ray. First comment and first person watching today. Salute. Lil Yachty brought back in some millions. It's time to go. But today, we're going to be breaking down and just kind of going over just the interview that happened yesterday with the owner of Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones himself. He has made a lot of great points. Great things as far as what his goals and what his views in 2018 season, and we just wanted to kind of like dive in and kind of, you know, with Jerry Jones, there's a lot of ums and a lot of oohs and a lot of so we just thought we would come to you guys today and just kind of, give you guys our interpretation of what the heck is Jerry Jones talking about. So first out the gate, he's gonna give you his first little tip that we're gonna talk about. The reporter kind of asks him like, you know, what's his thoughts on Jerry Jones? I know Jerry Jones brought Des Bryant, and what's going to be happening with Des Bryant in the 2018 season. So let's go take a make your whole ride on with me. Got me feeling like your heart. Back up that camera about when I park. Act up that Draco, come out after dark. Niggas don't act like they bout the life till you pull up. See this night and they hard. Then niggas you think me the coolest of group, and he put on that like you shit in the movie. Kid them with fashion, I'm talking my dab, and they thought it was new, and then you must be stupid.
times, kind of like what was his thoughts on Dez Bryant. And he said, kind of weird to me, you would think, if the Cowboys' plan was to get rid of Dez Bryant this whole time, you would have thought they would have had some type of conversation, considering all the rumors or accusations of the Cowboys, going after this receiver and wanting this receiver and doing this receiver. But it's very interesting to me that Jerry Jones goes on, basically, man, syndicated radio, national TV, and says that he is in talks with Dez Bryant. And, as soon as their schedules match, as soon as Dez is available, that they're going to sit down and have a conversation. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, that doesn't sound like someone who's very urgent. This doesn't sound like a very pressing matter to me. What are your thoughts on that?
On a good day, when I go get in the Bentley, I join the face that my bitch, she a bird. Yeah, that way. Bigger phone about Tunchi.
Yeah, that's my swag. I wonder if I can come take some of yours. New Bentley, I just wanna double park it on the curb. We got that key to the city, you niggas ain't heard, you niggas ain't heard. Lil' Yachty brought back in some millions, it's time to go splurge, it's time to go splurge. Yeah, that way. Pick up the phone and call Kanye. Yeah, that way. So don't put the huncho on the runway. Yeah, that way. Your artists be taking my swag. Your artists be taking my swag. I wonder if I can come to some of yours. Your artists be taking my swag. I wonder if I can come to some of yours. Your artists be taking my swag. I wonder if I can come to some of yours. Your artists be taking my swag. I wonder if I can come to some of yours. Your artists be taking my swag. I wonder if I can come to some of yours. Yeah, that way. Pick up the phone and call Kanye. Yeah, that way. So don't put the huncho on the runway. Yeah, that way. Your artists be taking my swag. Your artists be taking my swag. I wonder if I can come take some of yours.
What does it mean to rock that helmet, and does Dez understand that?
Dez understands it's about great men that have come before him. I was given it with championship, and I gave back 3 championships. What will you give back?
You heard the rap. He's immature. He's flashy.
Yeah. Man, you know there's not a diss record. I don't stick this. It's just for the record. It's just for the record. Just facts. Your artists my swag. I can come take some of yours. When I go get New Bentley, I just wanna double park it on the curb. We got that key to the city. You niggas ain't heard. You niggas ain't heard. Look, brought back some millions. It's time to go splurge. It's time to go splurge. Yeah, that way. Pick up the phone and call Kanye. Yeah, that way. So don't put the hunch on the runway. Yeah, that way. The plug pull up on any day. He told me Baloo was matching alone, and don't come in with that. Your artist be taking my swag. I wonder if I can take some of yours. Your artist be taking my swag. I wonder if I can come take some of yours.
Absolutely. That's kind of like where my point is too. I'm actually, you guys already know West Coast, man. I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist. Not I am. But, and I actually think a lot of this stuff was probably put out by the Cowboys, because at the end of the day, I do believe that the Cowboys do not want to lose Dez Bryant. I just feel that they probably thought that, what they were paying for Dez was too much. But I think after the Cowboys start seeing these guys like Allen Robinson and Sammy Watkins get, ridiculous amounts of money for not even having close to the type of stats that Dez Bryant had, I think that really made them change their mind, because, Stephen Jones came out, he came out swinging a big stick, talking, all this good talk, and, we all remember that interview, Dez has to, his subliminal, conservative, but it's always funny because, Jerry Jones is usually the one that kind of comes out and kind of like smooths things out. So now that Jerry Jones is kind of saying that, it wasn't that, we haven't had an opportunity, and, as soon as Dez is available, as soon as he's in town, and then Jerry Jones, but it's funny because he says, I know I'll be in town tomorrow, and, Jerry Jones is a billionaire, and he owns a helicopter. He gets back and forth to the Star, into the stadium in a helicopter. He is done with the whole car, he drives the thing. Jerry Jones is for Jerry Jones, it's all about him having the, time. It just lets you know, man, that honestly, I think Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys have been telling us bullshit about Dez Bryant. I think the objective of this offseason was to get Dez Bryant to drop that money you know, when I say plus holes, that doesn't mean that we have an Anthony Hitchens. No, we don't. But we do have a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Now he just has to go out there and play. But remember, you know, we didn't know who Anthony Hitchens was when we drafted him. Half the people didn't even value Anthony Hitchens or even want Anthony Hitchens until somebody else wanted him. Until Kansas City and the Coast Guard come knocking on the door. Most people didn't even really know about it. So, you know, at the same time, we need to be real with ourselves and know that, you know, the Cowboys, you know, I just think at the end of the day that the Cowboys' whole mindset has been really to just get Dez Bryant to take less money. And I think right now, you know, since we have 6 guys that have come on the team who pretty much doubled up. You know, we lost our linebacker. The only place we didn't double up was our linebacker. We just brought in 1 linebacker. So we brought in 2 wide receivers. We brought in 2 offensive linemen. And then we also brought in offensive linemen. We brought in the fullback. And the linebacker. So I mean, the Cowboys now can go into the draft knowing that they can draft whatever they want to. Now, obviously, you can draft something that will help you a little bit better than most. That's being real. But at the same time, you know, you're not going into the draft with a pressing need. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that I think the Dez Bryant whole, you know, I think the fact that he's saying there's no hurry and that he has no thoughts and, you know, there's no pressing time. When he says stuff like that to me, it lets me know that, you know, as of today, they don't have a problem paying Dez Bryant the money that they're paying him. But there may come a time where the Cowboys, you got to think right now, they don't, if they get Dez Bryant to take money, less money, what would it be for? Like, would it be for are you telling Dez Bryant, I need you to take less money so that we can bring in our Earl Thomas and we can sure up a better chance of getting a Super Bowl? Yes, I think Dez may rock with that. You tell Dez Bryant, hey, I need you to take less money just because your productivity? No, Dez Bryant's not going to agree to that because in his mind and in realistic fact, he's going to say there were things that hindered my productivity. You're not going to give if Floyd Mayweather, you know, Floyd Mayweather gets in is scheduled to box somebody and he breaks his hand before the fight and goes out there and loses the fight. You find out he has a broken hand. You're going to be like, whoa, he should have never even fought. Well, so you got to look at these Dez and these athletes, these NFL athletes, do that same fear. So, you know, in my opinion, if Jerry Jones ain't tripping, I ain't really tripping about it. I'm not really trying to bring it up no more because that's not an issue. Not an issue. What are they going to use the money for? I mean, all the top free agents are gone. And you notice we only really needed Dez Bryant to take less money when we were trying to bring in another big free agent. And all the big free agents are gone. So to go for Dez to take less money now, it's like, what? Just so you can now you're punishing me. And I don't believe in that because you can't punish me for being hurt. So, you know, I salute Dez for holding it out. Now Dez is going to make me look good and ball out this year, man. What's your thoughts, man, before we get to the next one?
I can come take some of your yeah, wait. Pick up the phone and call Kanye. Yeah, that way. So don't put the hunch on the runway. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get to good looking, Mr. Richard. So now so then the second part of the interview, Dez, you know, the Cowboys were looking Jerry Jones. They're asking some questions as far as his drafting, as far as, you know, what is his drafting strategies and things like that. So we're going to take a listen, a gather at that, and just kind of go from there.
Our mix, I think that these 2 guys that we signed and what we might look at in the draft, at any level of the draft, plus what we might get worked out with Dez gives us a good-looking receiver outlook.
When you talked to us at the Combine about asset allocation, you probably wouldn't go in after an offensive lineman early because of the cost and the things you have tied up with your other guys and what you want to do with Zach.
Now, right now, that's David Hellman asking. David Hellman is a hired employee by the Dallas Cowboys. He works. His paycheck says Dallas Cowboys. He's asking him what's called a loaded question. He just asked, what he asked him is, and I apologize earlier, the music for the Dez section was still playing. I do apologize. We'll go back to that at the end. We'll actually go back to that after I get over this point right here. he asked him is basically, he said, you know, in another interview you stated that you guys would not go, you know, for an offensive lineman early in the draft. You weren't looking for that simply because of what you have tied up in the offensive line right now, and also by what you want to do with Zach Martin. And Jerry Jones, you know, he agreed to that statement, and then he's going to go on to another statement. But I just wanted to hear your thoughts on, you know, kind of hearing that, Solar, you know, being a guy who's really been going after Mr. Hernandez. What were kind of your thoughts on that?
That's the owner. You know, if I'm speaking my thoughts on it, I only speak from the sixth ring perspective and predicated off what happened last year with Tyron exclusively, let alone with the fact that it is possible another offensive lineman could get hurt. And I think we just need to be prepared. All of this, we need to be Philly and we need to be deep. All of those are relative terms, so whatever. But we do need a understanding if something happens to Mr. Smith, who is going over there. Are we moving Leo? Are we not? You know, I want to trust training camp and the great coaches that we have to look at that, and the great other offensive linemen we have to help whoever the new additions will be. I will say this, since you posed the question that way, I'm not as adamant after the moves on taking a offensive lineman at 19, only if you're getting me Derwin James, Roquan Smith. I am the biggest advocate of not drafting a receiver at 19 on the planet. So if you're getting me one of them, pretty much meaning you're moving up, I'm fine with it. At 19, I don't think the talent's just going to be there. If it's not Derwin James or Roquan Smith, I don't feel that particular player will be as good as a player as the offensive lineman, one from Georgia, one from UTEP, being Mr. Hernandez. I feel the offensive line talent would be a better player. So from the moves that we've been able to do, I think we can take best player. Best player at 19, if we stay at 19, is going to be a offensive lineman, unless we want to just reach like we did with Taco last year. So, which is what it was. No disrespect to Taco Talk.
Typically, when people say no disrespect, that's after they disrespect them. But it's a joke.
Well, I plead guilty. I signed a guilty plea.
All right, but yeah. So hey, so that's a great point. Great point. So we're gonna go over this Dez Bryant portion real quick because the music was playing, and I apologize for that. So let's hear. This is Jerry Jones and his take on the Dez Bryant and what's going on with DZ.
Being with the team this year, and you'll be able to resolve.
They're asking him, is Dez Bryant gonna be with the team?
We need to talk, and I certainly have not had a thought about talking with him that did not anticipate him being with us.
Why haven't you had to talk yet?
We've just the timing hasn't been necessary. The guys we signed didn't impact Dez's situation, our receivers that we've signed. And so we've, between Combine and other things that have been going on in this, we just hadn't, the timing hasn't been good. And there really hadn't been any hurry to do it.
Is there any timeline to do something with him?
Not really. Not really. This week looks good. Next week really looks good. So, but I haven't checked with him on his schedule. But certainly haven't been avoiding or delaying in any way. We just no reason for us not to accommodate.
Man, what does that sound like to you? Does that sound like a man who's in a hurry to cut somebody? Yeah, does that sound like somebody else?
Cowboy, come on, man. I don't know what's going on in Cowboy Nation at the continental United States of America. I am with Dez 100%. Furthermore, I am with the 88 100%. I am with my owner 100%. I see no problems with Dez. Like you just kind of touched on a moment ago. You know, you want to cut my money to $8 million because you want to bring in Aaron Rodgers, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, maybe Odell Beckham to make my number 2 behind me. Okay, let's talk about this. But but maybe not could take half my money, because if I told most people who saying he should cut his money, and I went to their job and said, hey, can you take half the money because the company didn't meet its quota in said area? They didn't really even have nothing to do with you. Plus, a lot of other people got fired. Plus, there was a robbery at the business. Plus, the shipment didn't come in. But we're going to take half your money because of the externals that happened. It didn't have anything to do with you. Let us have half your money. People who make $20 an hour probably think, well, that's bad. Now I only make 10. Yeah, losing $10 an hour does not equate to losing $6 million. I know that, no matter who it is. So I'm with Dez Bryant. I think Dez is fine. I think Dez gonna be there. Jerry's probably like, why are you asking me this? I already answered this. Well, it's a lot going on being said. So Jerry would have said, well, who's saying it? Who are these people? Can you show me who they are? And if they ain't nobody, why are you questioning me about something? I run the Cowboys. I own the Cowboys. Well, Jerry, they want you to do it this way. Well, I want you to go back and tell them that they can get $1 billion and they can get their own organization and they can run it how they want to. So I don't think it's anything. What do you mean he's not in town? He could find Dez in France in 10 seconds if he wanted to find him. Everything's fine with 88. Everything's fine with this star, man. Stay focused on this 6 ring, man.
Yeah, and the cool thing about the game is, one thing I love about the game is it lets me know that Jerry Jones is, you know, it really confirms what I've been thinking and what I've been saying is all this narrative about Dez has probably been put out by the Cowboys. I mean, they wanted Dez Bryant to take less money because they wanted to make moves. But right now, you know, all the top free agents are gone. So it's like, you know, for Dez to take less money now, it'd just be almost like you would just be punishing him. So I mean, like, yeah, and like for you, and then yeah, exactly, and it wouldn't be fair for you to punish Dez because, like, he's, you know, the fact is, you know, he was recovering from injuries. There was a quarterback change. You got to take all those into factor. Like, if Floyd Mayweather is gonna fight someone and his arm falls off the day before the fight, you're gonna take that in consideration with his productivity when he gets into the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with Dez Bryant. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I definitely think that this narrative that was put out was more on the Cowboys than what the Cowboys were trying to do. So this next portion, Jerry Jones kind of gets asked a question as far as drafting an old. You know, we already went over that. He actually kind of talks about as far as like what is his thoughts on you know, drafting a wide receiver, or just, you know, what is his thoughts on just going into the draft as far as like in what position groups do you think the Cowboys should be looking? I think it's crazy that Jerry Jones be talking so much, be giving so much information. I mean, it makes good viewership, but man, that's crazy. That boy Jerry Jones, that's how you let you know he a real owner though, because Jerry don't care. Jerry gonna do what Jerry want to do.
Really provide not only big play potential, but it's got to be able to keep the defenses honest so that Zeke can be the player he can be.
You can deal with that allocation and still draft one high?
Yes. Okay. Yes, you can.
And a wide receiver is still in play as far in your mind.
Let me finish the sentence. You can do...
He asked him, is a wide receiver still in play in the draft?
The sentence. You can do that, but it'll cost you other places, with other positions. Right. We're not in a position to not have to allocate. And so if we did something like you just outlined, we'd have to make do, but maybe uncomfortably in some other places.
Okay. But it's still an option. I mean,
yes, yeah. We can do that. No, your question was, can you do it? Yes, you can do it. But when you look at it, it may be the wrong allocation of the resources to help you win.
So that kind of lets you guys know right there that I do not believe, in my scouting opinion, that the Cowboys will be going towards a wide receiver in the first round. You know, Jerry Jones said right there, you know, if you allocate those type of resources to that with already having what we already have, you are going to have to struggle uncomfortably somewhere else. And that just didn't sound like something Jerry Jones was just okay for doing. So I think, you know, I think the Cowboys are set for what they are. And I think, you know, I think the Cowboys believe that, you know, Dez Bryant can be who he is with the addition of Allen Hurns. I mean, if you got to think like this, I would think if Allen Hurns comes in, just think like this. If Dez Bryant just continues to be who he is and Allen Hurns be's the guy he is, Dez Bryant naturally will be better. You want to know why? Because for the first time in his career, he will have a number 2 that is worth scheming around. Terrence Williams, I love you, brother. I absolutely love you, T. Will. I love what you do for the Cowboys. I love what you mean for the Cowboys. I love how you know, they say, oh, he took less money. I love all that about you. You're a Texas kid. I love it, bruh. But I love the fact that Allen Hurns is going to be someone that defenses are going to have to scheme around. So guess what? Dez Bryant won't have to go into a fight knowing that it's a 3-people fight. And Dez Bryant already knows he has to knock out 2. You know what I'm saying? So now he can be like, man, you know what I'm saying? This fight is a little bit more even. I mean, I know Dez Bryant is the more elite wide receiver of the 2. So, yes, he should be able to knock out 2 more than T. Will. But it shouldn't be like that every single game. That's why football is a team sport. That's why you have a wide receiver corp and not wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? They help their production. I don't know if you guys understand this, but every great wide receiver has always had another wide receiver on that other side. Why? Because after you start burning defenses and doing them, they start double teaming you. You know what I'm saying? They start taking those things away from you. So, I mean, I definitely think that, you know, if Allen Hurns can come in and just simply be the guy that he's supposed to be, 88, it's going to absolutely make 88 better because it's just going to be things that he's not going to have to do no more. That he'll just be able to go out there and just be a regular freaking wide receiver with elite talent and not Dez Bryant. I got to put my cape on and be the only one out here making plays. What's your thoughts, Solar?
To really respond more so off what you just said, which was phenomenal as opposed to what Jerry said, I want to take a different interstate than you took. I feel like, yeah, I want to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up. Like, Dak has to, you know how I talk. If you can't hit Williams or Dez or Zeke or Witten or Beasley, it's you. Okay? So if you can't hit Hurns or the guy from Buffalo or Dez or Beasley or Zeke, it's you. Now, you need to give him a O-line that's going to give him time where he don't have to psychologically wonder, am I finna take a Lawrence Taylor hit, Joe Montana in the back type of hit? Okay. But once we do that, have done that, is Dak. I didn't have a problem personally with the receiving core. I was never saying we need to draft a receiver. I never thought the receiving core was an issue because I watched it for years with Romo. And then
oh my God, that's a good point.
I watched it Dak's rookie year. I did not see a post. I'd like somebody to go back on their Facebook page and send me from the 11-game win streak, the Giant loss, I'm sorry, to the 11-game win streak, to the rest of that year, to the playoff game, where somebody posted, let's change the receiving core, and I owe you $50, and I mean that on my mom. Nobody said, if you send it to me, my name is Anthony Donovan, inbox it to me, nobody said anything. Then last year, this and that happened with every single player, not just the receiving core. I never had a problem with the receiving core. Do I think we upgraded? Sure, I think we upgraded. So if we've upgraded, of course Dez is going to be better. But nothing was ever wrong with Dez. Nothing wrong with the receiving core. Now, Dak needs the O-line. Dak needs to know if his running back is playing to know how to prepare. Dak needs his running back to actually be playing. I don't care what they want to tell me, well, this is what Philly did. Why does Philly matter? Like, when did we become Philly people at the star and star representatives of the call Cowboy? When did we start speaking to them? And what is that? So all I know is about the star. So yeah, Dak should be good. The receiver that we have should be good. No, we should not draft a receiver in the first round. No, we should not draft a receiver in the second round. No, we should not in the third round. I don't care if they draft me or you in the 5th, 6th, 7th round personally, but not in the first 3 or 4 rounds. No, I think we go. We got.
Hey, that's a great point that you said about the offensive line. And a key proponent on that offensive line is Tyron Smith. Let's check out what Jerry Jones said about Tyron Smith.
The last couple of years, can you get that solved or just
The what?
with Smith? What's kept him the back?
I think they're different. I think they've been different, and I don't see a chronic situation here. I just think we had him limited there for that period of time, but I don't see, to get real specific, I don't see that weight, lesser weight, I don't see those kinds of issues being talked about. But, I think as you move through, as you progress through your years in a career, like uniquely a guy like him has left tackle. We're talking about the guy that can be looking at 15 years. Only Whitten and other positions that I know of that can even think like that. And so the point I'm trying to make is, to me, it's year to year. And I think we've got every reason to think that he's going to be healthy enough to endure through a campaign and have a better injury situation than he did last year. Nothing indicates that what last year is what this year's going to be. Nothing.
When we talked to you at the Combine about DeMarcus Lawrence, it was trending towards.
So, Jerry Jones just kind of talking about Tyron Smith, made some really good points. He said, if you're looking at Tyron Smith, if we can keep him healthy, this is a guy who can play for 15, 14 years. I'm going to be honest with you, that's very, very true. Left tackles, offensive line, they do play very long time. Tyron Smith is definitely the best in the game. It would be a very good thing to have Tyron Smith, especially through Dak Prescott's, the beginning of his young career. Because when you ain't got to worry about that edge coming, it makes a young quarterback's life a whole lot easier. So, what were your thoughts on Jerry's thoughts on Tyron Smith?
Well, he's a little more optimistic as far as, past performance can be an indicator of future performance, but not always. There's no guarantee to anything. I personally, speaking for me, in response to Jerry, I think Tyron's the best left tackle in football. I think that he's great. But I don't know is he going to play 16 this year? Is he going to play 16 the year after that? I don't know that. And looking at, again, I only speak from the fact of getting the Super Bowl next year. That's all I speak of next year. Like, we need to have a backup for Tyron Smith. I think he's great. But I'm not saying he's not going to play 16 games. Everybody played 16 games in that rookie year. We were great. And everybody should hopefully play this year. We will be great. But we need to have a backup. I'm not saying he's too optimistic. I'm optimistic. I'm going to tell you, Sean Lee and Tyron going to play 15 games. But just in case, if the new right tackle from New England play right tackle when Leo goes left guard, well, Tyron's there, Beck's there, Frederick there. There's your line. Now, if Tyron go out, you need to be able to tell me something. I don't care what it is. As long as you can, and it ain't Chad Reed, it's Tyron Bell. So as long as you can tell me something, yeah, I'm fine with Tyron. I'm fine with giving him an extension. I trust them. I trust our doctors. When Gary said we got the best doctors on the planet, I believe that. So, and they brought Jalen along, which I still can't comprehend or explain. So I'm fine with Tyron at left tackle, and I believe that Jerry know what he's talking about.
Yeah, and that's actually a really, really good point. And I'm happy you brought up Jalen Smith. Let's actually hear what Jerry Jones had to say about Jalen Smith.
That's not me eyeballing it. That's talking to the combination of coaches pointing things out as the year went along, plus talking to trainers and doctors. Yeah, I'm going to make the call in my decision making that he's going to be better.
You talked at the Combine about,
So basically, the reporter asked him, and he was just saying that, from his explanation, he's feeling that, they treated this year as a rookie year, which we all kind of knew, but their expectation is that he is going to get better. I think the number one thing Jerry Jones touched on more or less is just being physically in shape. You know what I'm saying? And I think, this year was pretty much, even though he was a sophomore, the second year kid, it was really like his first year. So you want to credit, I know a lot of times, we get all high hope on kids, and then they get out there and start running against these offensive linemen that you may not know, and life gets real. And so I think that was the same situation with Jalen Smith, but just like with all things, I think he's going to adapt, and I think he's going to be better next year. I definitely think he's going to be better next year. Now, Jerry Jones also made, there was also something, people always want to know what's kind of like Jerry Jones and the Joneses